out your rules, the hierarchy approach in general. We've got a couple catch-alls in here for you as well, so if you ever need to do some quick checks, so if you get that teacher or superintendent,
I wouldn't be doing all this.
you can always do a quick little search. See, like this, like for you guys, why can't I get to Facebook? Well, you can type it in and it's going to show you everywhere this rule is impacted. So you can say, hey, right up top here, maybe they didn't make the allow list, so you can actually jump right into the rule, add a group, add a user, etc. Really easy. At the same time, too, you can do like, hey, we're getting ready to create a new YouTube policy, right? So you can say, hey, I'm getting ready to create a block rule for YouTube, but I want to know how it's going to impact this user first before I can do it. It'll say, hey, look, they're already actually in a block classroom. Just know about that. Make that change.
All it's going to do
So a couple quick helpers on here to kind of know what's going on. Our object list, so this is kind of a hotkey into our objects. So these are going to be things not only that we can export.
Oh, you have a number two. Okay, I thought it was just us. Yay!
Things like that. We can bring those over and put them in here. This is also where you'll create any other wildcards, right? You need to.
I don't even think I need
searches, building in general. This is also where you'll build out your different time periods. As I mentioned, as I brought in high school lunchtime for that.
So I know your role, you're all the
right?
teachers.
Come in here, create any number of time periods, and attach these
I
time periods. So you can automatically set everything to maybe allow.
Okay.
Then
technically I'm assistant technology director, but our technology director is retiring now.
Any questions on the rules? Like I said,
And I'm also in charge of getting our teachers to actually use.
Okay, so just to kind of give you the background of this session, this is very teacher heavy, but it's something that whenever I'm giving teachers ideas on what you can do in your classroom, the tools you have, these are the things that I tell them. Things that they need.
So in this case, this is my penalty box allow rule. It says, hey, look, these kids are in this.
To be able to boost engagement in courses for teachers, but kids can access all these things, especially if you're in a Google world. So I'm Kristen Dickery. I'm from Louisiana. We're south of Baton Rouge, going towards New Orleans. I taught for 17 years.
One thing that's come up too, obviously, any block rule that you have, we actually have a built-in redirect URL, so if you want to actually direct
support our
them to
teachers
your
all
Facebook
Mr. Farah.
site,
This is our first year at this conference, but we do everything
instead of just your
educational
standard
technology
splash page,
students,
based on the rule that you created, maybe you want to send them somewhere specific.
I do specific PD, I come in and teach teachers how to use something, so that's kind of my
All
story.
that.
But my passion is making sure that teachers.
We also have the ability with our, any rule, when I was going to proxy VPN.
So many.
Proxy VPN, this was actually,
You're like, oh, good, great.
Travis,
Find out what
I say
that
that, this was probably
You
the
know,
number one
it's
thing
hard to
that
be a
popped up first
teacher,
for them. Like,
to learn and to teach.
so the students were using all this because we actually have AI and machine
I would
learning
never not have empathy there.
scouting the
That's hard
global
place.
internet.
So, that is me. So I'm focusing on how Google can
But
help.
also in any
our
block
lessons
rule,
and how we
more so
can
for this
teach
one, you can build a little bit of a pain
tools
point
that they don't know
for a
already.
team.
I'm gonna go back and forth between my panel and my, because I wanna show y'all some of this stuff in
So
action.
again, you can
especially
turn on
these
quarantine
videos
for any
at the
block.
end, make it a little more formal. These, and I'm gonna give y'all the slideshow if you want, and it'll have some links.
Any other
So
questions on?
Canva, a lot of people know Canva now, it has a lot of, I do a lot of slides through Canva now, and it's got.
Come back to that if something comes up. So let's jump over to classroom.
Headers.
So before I go into the classroom as a teacher, within the same UI, which is really nice, you have classroom administrators, instructional techs. They can be given permissions to where it removes all the IT stuff. Maybe they just
top
do
AI
class-wise.
tools, a list of all the AI that's out.
So class-wise, this is where it's easy for you to configure what teachers have access, what teachers may not have access. You also get the ability to customize what
Cast,
teachers
like,
want to do.
conference, an online conference.
But we give you the ability to turn
But
off
it
on or off.
basically allows
There's a
me
feature that you don't want your teachers to have.
pull
Put
in,
an option
I
you don't
can
want
pull
your
in
teachers to
whatever
have.
slides I've created, so if I create something in slides, or even Canva and I.
This is also from a back-end administrator standpoint. This is where you can say, hey, one of the examples, of course, what happens, like, hey,
I can download
Timmy's in
or
my
upload
class,
it
you
into
can't do
CurePod, and CurePod puts
Is
those
another
AI
teacher
generated
block.
questions.
Now you can do a quick check to say, hey,
It's very
Timmy was in health class just a minute ago, so let me jump in.
near
Alright,
product
yep,
Pear
so
Deck,
using this
it
class,
kinda has
you as an
that
administrator
feel to
or a
it,
classroom
except
administrator.
it's more,
you can do it.
it's just kind of
You don't gotta go, you
updated.
don't need to go
So
track
it's
down.
very, the kids are involved in it. If I were to just pull,
Teacher can do that as well, but I'm just showing you some administrative back end controls.
I 100%
Yep.
not do it.
So like if we gave that to the media specialist.
But you can pull in a lesson and say purify it,
Yep.
and it will, you can
Or
drag
we
the
train them on
information
something
here,
like,
and
hey,
it
this
just
is what the actions
recognizes
you have
what's
access
in
to.
there, and it says, this is a good place to ask a question.
The ultimate,
And it will do it
ability
all
is
for you.
that
So
any given
Purified
time,
is a really
any
great
given
tool
time,
for
you guys
teachers to use
or
with what they
media
already
specialists
have,
can
even
jump
if it's
in
something
as a
Microsoft, like it's not just
So,
specific.
like,
to you.
if I'm that media
It's got
specialist
really
and,
cool little
I'm like,
SEL
hey, I need to
checks.
go look at
So
Stephen's
the
classes.
teachers
They
can
can
do,
literally jump in.
you know, how do you feel today?
have the same
So
experience
Purified is
as
just a good little tool to have.
They're gonna land here, they're gonna see all their classes, et cetera, and be able like, hey, yep, there's an active class, and we'll go ahead and.
Slides AI, slides.ai.io will help
Alright,
generate slides.
this is, so I just logged in as a teacher, so let's talk about that here
I
real
will say
quick.
the
So,
one thing
already
about
rostered through ClassLink potentially, alright, or any other SIS.
It gives you like
When the
40
teacher logs in, they're gonna be presented with all their
You
classes.
know, it does some really.
They do have the ability to see all their
If y'all are
rostered
new
classes,
to this,
they also have the
AI
ability to
system
add
about
custom
it, and it's gonna
classes.
live with
So if there's
you
any
for a
add-on
while.
classes,
It
they
is
can do
not, I
that.
think it's still in beta.
They also, if they do
It's
have a
really
lot of,
cool, like,
you know,
don't have to
non-standard
leave
classes,
Google
this is the
platform
way
to
for us to
get AI.
put it up to them.
So you would hit the little magic, this little icon.
One thing I will mention quickly is that class-wise for us can actually be used for non-technical, for non-teaching staff as well. So if you give this to a principal or being specialist, they can actually log in,
I will say that
they'll be presented, of course, with a blank screen, but they can actually add a class in monitor-only mode, which says, hey, I do have some troubled students.
So anyway,
Learning to
AI
math,
stuff is definitely
and
big and out there right now. This list, last time I looked at it, had some really good comprehensive things that told exactly what.
so this says, hey, I need to go ahead and keep an eye on these kiddos.
Your teachers.
So they can see their
Hey, come
screens.
on. This is
They're
very
not gonna have the
casual, so,
confidence.
okay, good. So if you're expecting like you to stand up and cut it, it's not.
At least they can say like,
I've already got a couple.
so I
Alright,
can
so
actually
this
zoom in and
Google
see what's
Slides,
going on. I can see the other
y'all
tabs
have
that are
this
active as
tool in
well and
there?
jump in.
So this is really good
All
for
without
kids,
interfering with
even when they're wanting to
So
create,
monitor
this
only
exists
mode.
within docs,
Good
slides,
benefit for,
they can go to either
SAP
tools and,
Does this look at
explore
screenshots for the-
and find things
It does.
here, or there's a
Right up here,
there's
monitor
always
mode.
gonna be a
I can
shortcut
go pull
there.
that
But
screenshot.
if I know that I'm wanting to put something on my slides, like,
Does that screenshot history report exist outside of class?
Not right now.
It will do a
So
search within Drive.
It's a
on the
feature
web,
request.
images,
We've not
so
seen
it's
it
all
heavily
built in.
requested from IT.
So it's it's just a really quick way to be able to have that
Screenshots are
assistant
taken, it's like
within
class-wise and all.
your platform that you're using.
Alright, so let's talk about the teacher.
Because in my
Alright,
classroom, it's
so as a
students
teacher,
that write
once I
graphics,
log into my
write
class,
details.
the one thing that we
5
do
minutes
ask the
is
teacher to do, which is in this.
Like it did not matter.
So we talk
how
about
simple I
having
made it.
AC
So the
screens.
fact that this is
So
embedded,
two
I can
things.
give that.
We first train the teachers to say, hey, look, before you can see screens, we need you to set the bedtime for this
It's all
class.
in there. And even for kids who aren't.
This really helps with
Y'all saw how
the
fast I brought it
overlapping of
back
classes,
up.
so this class is gonna auto expire
So
at
it
1
does
o'clock.
get that.
If you do like
They feel a
schedules,
little bit more creative.
the teacher can,
Importing a theme,
build that
this is
schedule
also
here.
something that's fun for kids.
this is where they
and
can go in and
teachers
say,
alike.
yep, this class, I just want it to
Just
start
go
every
slides
day.
for 'em. Well, there are a ton
This
out
time.
there.
They can do
These are
that,
some of the
they
most
can as many as they
common
want.
ones. If I
This
go
is
to
really
Slides
cool, too.
Carnival and I just
If that
start
teacher
with
has an
a
assistant,
slideshow
they
of
can actually
kids
add that
going
teacher
to
right
put
here.
Christmas backgrounds, we're there.
Call an IT or
Don't have
anything else.
Thanksgiving.
If they have a collaborative teacher,
Because who
substitute,
does?
you can add this to from the back
Alright,
end.
so if I go
That
into
teacher
this
logs in,
cute
they're gonna see
animated,
this
oh, look,
class.
and it's actually imported with Canva.
Obviously, depending on how your system sync happens, and sometimes
It's
we
got
can mention this.
animations.
You know, it doesn't always
you
come
can,
over as
on all these ones that I
comes over as
think,
ABC,
you basically
X1,
download
7.
it. This
So
might
the teachers have the ability to rename the
I
class
really want it.
without
So
interfering with
use
that.
template for this design.
Just little things.
So I'm trying to just get it to
For that
support
class.
this in my
So
Google.
as a teacher,
Whenever
I
do
started
it.
my class, quick aesthetics, I can make the tiles smaller, larger, you know,
So
whatever
if I
they're
go to
favorite.
slides.new,
We're in screen view right now,
once you
obviously,
grab the thing.
but we
that
have
you
a list view as well. So if a teacher does see like, hey, I got some kids getting a little tab happy,
Editing,
I can actually jump over to list view and knock out these tabs.
slide,
So I
change.
just wanna clean up their experience, so they're gonna get a bar at the top that says your teacher's course.
If you have downloaded it and recognized it in your you're driving.
Second is that, okay, what are we doing on Amazon? Like I saw before, potentially, you can zoom in and get a live running view. They can create a block rule, or they can create a screenshot manually. So if I said, why the heck are they on Amazon? I, as a teacher, could say, no, get off of Amazon. I can create a block rule for just Ellen, or I can say, hey, I just want to make this for every class.
Not had one right away.
So close that down.
Because I'm standing
And
here.
any of those block rules are going to be found. So I just made my 28th one. So it's all going to come right here. So you're going to be able to see all your rules. Change it.
But now that I have a
Screen view,
slideshow here,
list view,
the important thing.
our hotkeys at the top, right? Really efficient. I can chat with the student. I can put an announcement on their screen. I can open a tab or a window, depending
So
on
kids can
the
go
window.
select the thing teachers
You know,
can,
one just
whenever they go to pick their page.
I can just quickly
it has
pause
all
it.
of them in there. It's just
All from
like
an
something
individual
I don't think
basis.
everybody knows, and I'm real
Now,
bad about
from
creating.
a class
spend a lot of
perspective,
time creating all
up here,
that.
class tools, I can open a site for everybody. So this is really cool too, depending on how you have YouTube configured. If I as a teacher want to share a YouTube video, I can go grab a video and I can say, all right, let's put it in here. We actually recognize it's a YouTube video, and we say, hey, let's go ahead and put
We
it
also
on
can
full screen
insert
mode.
videos, which is
It's
nothing
gonna
that's
remove all the comments and ads.
crazy, but I do like.
We do
to
have
show
some of this
that,
ability, which I just now know I
they
skipped
don't
over
have
to
to
the filter.
be-
In the filter, you can actually set up an everyday experience to say,
When I
they
did one.
get access to YouTube,
Whenever I go to class.
but they don't see
We're
descriptions,
watching
they don't
15
see, they don't
minutes,
see
one,
comments, they don't
really
see
2
ads.
minutes
You can actually remove the search
So
bar.
are y'all familiar with how to insert video change stuff?
It is locked down.
That's something that I think teachers need to know.
Also, you can put an announcement just quickly on everybody's screen. This is where, this next one is
Closed
gonna be where
captioning
this comes up for your
slides,
Google.
they'll use that.
So focus is where they go to build out this
So,
knowledge.
okay, so if I'm in a slideshow.
So this is gonna be like, hey, I want everybody
And I
to
know
get
there might be
movie right
some
now.
hearing impairments, or it's just
I
difficult.
want you to have access to.
When you come to the three dots when you're in presentation mode,
maybe
you
outside.
can turn into captions.
So they can create that list,
So
hit
now
start
I can
focus,
recognize
it's gonna
things,
remove
start
everything
to
else
focus.
from that student's access.
Yeah, it's
So
pretty
the
cool.
only in this,
And,
almost
even
focus there.
now in Google Meet, I don't know if y'all are familiar with it, but you can do translation.
Reward is something that is
So if I
configured
want
first
to
from
use
IT.
that
This is
for
just a fun way as
EL,
we're
they
going
don't
to all the
understand
great
it,
here.
I
You can say, hey, IT is giving us some authorized categories, so, hey, for the next 15 minutes, I can give everybody access to these. Again, it's already been given by
And it code goes off whenever I go up the slides.
Also, you can pause the internet, just real quick
Google Docs,
for the
this
class.
is the same as
The
Google
teachers
Docs.
also, outside of the SIS thing, have the ability to make alterations to the
Google
class.
Docs.
They can remove students, they can add maybe
So
a
you
couple.
can get
Who are
citations.
sitting into this
Google
class on the
Docs,
fly.
go to that.
When the SIS thing happens though, it'll remove anyone that doesn't belong, bring everyone back that should be there if they made
So
it.
these are great accessibility tools that I love.
So we talked about rules briefly, but again, this is where,
Stability, and then I turn all that on.
this is the real big game changer, when we really think about the holistic approach.
Okay, so
Is
now,
that you're always blocking things, but now how do we give teachers the ability to access, within
so
a
this
reason,
accessibility,
certain content without having to author
I
IT?
can verbalize.
This is exactly how we do that. So if I wanna use ChatGPT
I also
in
can
my
do
class,
some
I can do that.
dictation in here.
This is only impacting this class period.
Voice typing.
When this class is over,
So
even if the teacher leaves these and allow, it doesn't matter. When the class is over, the rules are expired. But the cool thing is that when the teacher comes back to this class tomorrow, these rules are still here waiting.
Let them just speak.
So they don't have to reconfigure this every day. So if they have like that one child that doesn't know how to properly use ESPN on their free time, you can automatically just have one
So we can see,
student
you've got a shared document, see if people got to click on it.
Yeah.
So we have version history.
Anyone here have
I'm assuming.
any other devices other than Chrome? Windows in the classroom or in labs?
So I'm gonna just assume that I can see.
One really cool thing about Windows devices in the classroom
So
is actually
slides, to
laptops
see
and
who
tables,
got to it.
is that we still have full screen view. So it's the whole screen in the desktop for Windows. What I was saying is actually we have the ability
Co-workers,
to
like
control
adult
that.
co-workers who are adults, I share stuff with their friends who are
So
doing.
if you go in there, they can actually control.
Oh, yeah, I looked at it.
Turn off the
So
calculator,
version
they
history
can
will
test
show
it.
somebody's
So a
manipulated
lot
or
more
changed.
granular functionality.
If I go into this activity dashboard, which is the tools, and I look at this viewer trend,
Reports, so let's take a look at that real quick. So screenshot history report, as I mentioned, Once teachers know that this is here, you no longer stress about it when they see your Timmy or Sally doing something. So now a teacher can be like, you know what, I remember him doing something, maybe even today.
So anybody else?
I now go
There
back
you go.
and just remember
Now let's
the
see if
time
it's
frame
in
that
here.
happened.
Yep, it's in
I
docs
can
too.
see when, where, how long they spent there.
Oh. It's not.
Screenshots are automatically taken every 30 seconds. But more so, anytime you tap it,
It does that.
anytime a character is.
It really does, especially if you've got a lot of changes, you can get yourself lost if you
So
click
very
on-
proactive with
Well, and if
taking
somebody's
screenshots.
done like a
Now taking
massive
other
hot
sources
things,
from your
then
devices.
it's like, well,
We have analytics to prove that. They're coming over in like, 480, but, this is really well. So now the teacher can go back even up to 2 weeks.
Look, you can email them directly from there.
It's really nice for teachers like, last week, I think something was going on.
Viewer trend,
Pull
you
that.
can see where the activity.
So even though the screenshots are only for 2 weeks,
I like that.
this
because,
history is
like
there
you
for
said,
the full
the version history.
as well as the,
And even if you're just wanting somebody to
for the
open
full
something,
school year,
you can at
we
least.
can do
Not
longer.
that it's necessarily a gotcha, but I thought it was interesting that one adult in professional setting don't always open.
The other report is the student journey report.
But
Again,
anyway,
teachers
love
are trying to
activity,
get one of
and
these things
dictionary
off.
translation.
But now the teacher potentially says, look, the child was on a bunch of stuff, I don't have time to do screenshots. They, just like I showed you in the IT side, they can choose that student, change
Also, y'all, if
the
they're
range that they want
they
to
hit their
export on,
timestamp,
and then they
they
can
can
export
have
that
it
same user journey.
just pop up like that. If
And
you don't see it, you can go into settings and just turn accessibility. So my kids that I know need that regularly,
Really nice official
I
ways.
always have their accessibility open for them, and they can turn things
Any
on.
questions on classroom in
That's why
general?
I really like your Chromebook. Actually, I work, this is like a high-end, quote-unquote, teacher Chromebook. It's become my main device. I use it for everything.
If they're in the class, they just either on it, they can't see it.
Shared projects, I'm assuming if y'all use Google, y'all have shared projects.
The number one thing is I always challenge saying, go Google how to get around
Teaching
Wi-Fi
world,
together.
I live in a very collaborative
So
environment.
it's crazy for me to say that,
Even
but
if
check
they're
Reddit.
working
I mean, it's,
on
I usually let that come up when the call, because our engineers out there.
It's
It's like on everybody else.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
this,
I
especially in
know
classroom,
we
we
do it, but
automatically
sometimes it's hard to track and all those things.
tabs.
So I just, in this slideshow, when you get it, you'll just see an example of how I was able to track certain things that were collaborative. And it had to do with how I set it up as far as color, version history, specific roles, but it does, like, this was the time when my kids had a right to life situation, so I had to be that blue. I started it, and they had like a 3-minute timer.
Nope.
And there's a 3-minute
We've
timer.
never.
So it was a way to collaborate, but I was still like, you're the rest.
So something else,
And
and
then
again, you have to go
they-
back, we said.
it was just high expectations.
We do the same thing with
So
classroom.
there was really no,
So we do two.
kids didn't have time to manipulate the system.
We
Say,
have
I'm
two
red
health
or blue,
checks,
I'm
and
gonna
like
do
this
it because I was monitoring the
to
whole
literally
time.
go
But
top
again,
down and
love
grab
that
and
relationship
refresh.
documents that were
First
shared.
thing, we
They
go
didn't know
with you.
like they had.
So outside of the normal check-ins, we actually
I've
do
got
that.
3 boys and one of them would not work. He does not like those people very much. He's that kid that says, I have to play with my 2 dogs and babies are sheep. Like he is a real person. So I can.
Yeah, that would, nothing overrides, because once a class is deactivated, I don't care if it was 2 years ago, it doesn't matter.
Google Classroom, y'all know about comment banks?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna show you all right there. I got a little bit of those in there.
Last thing I do like to share is overall.
Of course, this is a mock room.
Our mission goes beyond just schools rules. So for teachers, this is where we've embedded some of that digital citizenship training for them to have just quick access. We try to do a lot of this for them, obviously based on their class and show their age groups. But now they can have some of those things that they're, we know that they're doing their best to find. Now we give them, these are not all of them. But now
See, I can see
when
who did their work.
Having trouble bullying,
These are all just.
or maybe you just wanna have them go through a course on best use of technology, safe internet. Every one of these courses actually does provide the teacher with a handbook.
Peer feedback.
What
Okay,
questions
so I
can
have
we
one
ask
thing
while
turned in.
students going through
So
this?
to be able to do a comment,
Everything's
sometimes
built in.
teachers are doing the same repeated comments, which we want to be personalized, but if you're doing, like this was just a peer feedback activity, they had to go in and do some kind of feedback on their partner's work,
All
and
right.
some self-reflection.
Again, any
So
questions?
I know that I have a repeated comment that I'm gonna make, like add more detail, even if it's positive feedback, we want that
So,
too.
last but not least,
I
I
could
do
create this
want to
comment.
talk
So
about
what I'm gonna do
monitors.
is
So again, as I mentioned, this is our
comment, and I'm gonna
threat
say,
detection program.
add more.
The key highlights, once again, you're seeing
First time
everything.
I had this,
in
actually, I already
moderation,
have one.
24/7, 365.
And
Now, of course,
comment.
this looks very clean and
Whenever I
plain and simple,
go
right?
to
That's
my
by
Google
design,
Docs,
because we know it's not always
because it's
IT.
an existing comment, I can add.
So first, when you log into the application, based on your rights, you will see
Now,
just
I
the
know
building
I'm
that you're
going to
associated
repeat
with,
models.
or if you have
I
multiple
would just
associated
hit
with
the
you, you'll see every
and
building
I can
within
just
there.
start
The
add.
reason we do it that way is because something that we really are proud of is that we actually allow our schools
Or I can hit
to
this
change
button
the
right
alert
here
levels from an
underneath
email
the
perspective
grade,
based
and
on
I
grade
have
level
all my
engagement.
comments, and I can just
So when you
drag
think
it.
about having this type of
So,
control,
well, you
we
have
always
something
think we know best.
to do.
But you know, if you say, hey, for my youngsters, right? I don't want to wait.
I have all the time going to Google Keep and created a bunch of comments. And just.
But for our older kids in our high
copy
school, right?
pasted
We
them
say,
into
hey,
my
section
comment,
content.
and that way, as I need them, I just start typing.
But giving you guys the ability to choose.
And it's a way for the kids to have more specific.
But it also allows you
feedback,
to, like,
especially when detailed, if you're looking for a specific
Scarier,
task or a
right?
specific,
You have an emotional happening in the school.
requirement.
Say, hey, everybody, just letting everyone know, we're gonna bump Wednesday first into it too. It's gonna be a little noisy for a couple of weeks. You just don't want
That's
to
a comment thing.
So this is how you can control your email.
Organization in Google
Now,
Classroom, y'all,
Level 1 through 5 grades.
I got
1 and
real
2s. There's no
picky
email.
about my Google
Right? It's
Classroom
just, hey,
organization
there's
whenever I was a
no
parent.
reason for you to get out of your seat.
My
Just
children
capture something,
were
you
doing
saw it,
work with
just
other
make sure
teachers, and their Google
there.
Classroom was just
Go to your
listen,
dashboard, look
listen,
at it.
listen, listen. So
Level
what I
3s and
like to
4s
just
are out of the box,
mention, and
gonna
I
be
probably
email
see
alerts.
require here,
And then your level
whenever
5s
I
are
have a
gonna be
Google
email
Classroom,
and
this is the
phone
way I
call.
taught all my teammates.
We're not calling just on anything.
Whenever you're
There's
in
an
this,
imminent threat,
I
whether it
always
be,
turn
you know,
off
to
my
their
screen.
life, or even
So like the stream,
unfortunately
every time something gets uploaded in
that
Google Classroom,
situation.
it creates a note. So kids will see that, click on it, and then be like, is this
Just
what I'm
knowing that
doing,
you're not
or is that what I'm doing? So I always, whatever Google Classroom I'm in, I go into settings, and I turn.
This is
the
also
stream
where you
to
can
high
manage
notification.
your contacts.
Also,
So
only
you can
teachers
have
are
just
supposed to
safeguarding
see
contact
it.
is everything. They're gonna have
Kids
access
would
to the
get
dashboard for that
on my
building.
stream, and I'm like,
You know,
what are we
they're gonna
talking?
get phone
No,
calls.
no.
Well, something else we allow you to do is integrate
Did
with your
this most
SIS.
of the time,
We
and
can
then
actually
stream.
integrate
That way
with
my
that
kids were
and allow you to
trained
break down and say,
to go
hey,
to Google
my
Classroom.
superintendent
Now,
really
if I
wants to
had
be
an
part of this
announcement,
program. They don't want any
knew
email.
it's actually on the
They only
stream.
want to be on the call list.
They knew
Right?
just to go to Classroom.
So allow you to be as
This is
granular
where I wish
or
I
as
could have
basic
had a
as you guys
conversation
need
with,
as
I
an
have,
organization.
my kids are
We help you
2
through
years
it.
apart, so I had during
Now,
COVID, I had
every day,
a
you
ninth grader,
experience,
a
right?
seventh grader.
So when they log in, they're seeing their building, these easy tabs. So dashboard
I could
is
not
gonna say,
figure out
hey,
what is
do
not
we have any,
supposed
do we have any
to
risks?
do.
We do.
I highly
I can
recommend
jump in and see all of
that
them, just
teachers
from a
create
specific category if I
some of these
want.
little topics
Only
right
7,
here,
so
so
I'll
when they
go
go to
straight to
create an
events.
assignment, they
Events
have
is your
some
most
headings.
important tab.
And
This is
then,
how
so like you can
So
see.
here you're gonna see all of your risks
This is
based
how
on
I
what you want to
organize
see,
my class.
filter, what
So this
you're
was, we
looking
had
at.
9 weeks.
You can actually
1, 2, 3,
provide
all the way to 9. Now, we did a novel.
So you can
So
say,
that's
all right,
for the
Amanda
outside.
Johnson,
I had
level
just
5.
a module.
Probably already got a
for the
phone call for
outside.
this,
And
but
it
now
just
you need to go
needed
back and
so
see what
much
the heck
because
happened.
I'm sure y'all.
So you're able to pull it up.
You're
You're first gonna be presented with a comment from the human moderator. You're gonna say exactly what happened.
Think
And
about
then you're gonna see every step that
chapters
took
of
place.
modules.
So
Put
this is
your
a
organization
very
materials in
for
like
example, right?
The
Health
stream
farm.
is just
Why was
like
that caught?
a
Well, it's
dumping
because we
ground.
caught the
So
landing.
I usually have that
So we
conversation.
detected that it landed on a self-farm website, screenshot. But red flags didn't go off yet, right? No phone calls. Not until we discovered that the
Okay, so
child was
forms,
trying
this
to
is
email
just,
operating.
you can use it for all these things, quiz.
This is the
exercise,
other really big
obviously,
side.
I used
Again,
to use
I
eighth grade
respect
physics.
every other student safety
That was
application,
pretty
we really
easy.
do. I have really good
Students
trust
can
in
create
that. We're
quizzes
first
based
in
on
this
content, they
area.
have tons of add-ons and extensions.
The
that
big
are
thing about
created
emails,
for it. You
a
can
lot of
actually
programs
create
say, yep, we scan emails.
Um,
Problem is,
these are some
they're not wrong,
sources that I wanted to
but
put
that
in,
child has to hit
I'm not
send.
gonna go into the whole.
It has to be transacted to the email
But
server for
this
those
is an
other programs to
example of
see
one
it.
that I use.
We're capturing it as student traffic. So if this
Just to
child
show the
had a
different
change
types
of
of
heart,
questions. So
closed it,
if I
deleted
created
it,
one for one
we already
class,
captured the
I
screenshot.
didn't want
We're
all the
actually
kids to
seeing
use
it
the
as
same
it's
phone. So I had 100
So it allows you to
kids.
get
At
a
one
lot
point I
more
had
proactive.
230, because my partner teacher retired, there was no new teacher, so I did all of them.
These examples down here are to show that we're not making phone calls, we're even taking screenshots.
And then they had to choose the block that they were in, that way I could, once I got the results, I could sort it, put it in a
We're gonna give you that context,
So
and
that's
you
just
we're hard into it,
teachers don't
just to
always
say,
say
alright.
And of course, you can have a various style of answer, so you can have
So
short
really
answer.
easy to jump in and
I
see
can
the
have a
different
short
events
answer, we can
as
have
they're happening,
linear
make sure that you've got the
response.
contextual evidence
This
of
I
what's
really
going on
like,
behind the
this is another
scenes,
type of response,
right?
maybe
And,
red lines, I think is what
less
it's called.
severe, right?
And,
Still doing something inappropriate, you're gonna show you exactly every step of the way.
And then you can add files, so kids can.
As we know, a lot of these events could
So
easily be
just,
two,
this is just to show the different styles
This
of
is here
questions.
just to show you,
can
like,
have.
we're gonna
Of course,
capture,
if it's
we're
red,
gonna have
have to do.
contextual
Other students
evidence
have to do.
of every single thing.
Another.
You can add notes, these will flow through every single person that has access to this building, or any of these users, they'll be able to see
So
that by
you go to
timestamp.
question well,
And then you
put
can
a
easily
topic,
close,
so,
you can keep it open,
theme
as you need.
and, poetry, and then,
When I mentioned about the reports,
Or
this is
a
very,
poem
again, this is gonna be
type.
some demo
and
data.
then
so
whenever you
not
want
here.
the outcomes.
This is where you're gonna be able to see those trends,
identify.
right? On a week-to-week basis, you know, hey, what categories we're most
Whenever you
vulnerable on,
hit.
you can click right into them if you want to.
Now, this is
And
the
then
free
this is where
version.
you're gonna be able to say, hey, we're getting
When
better,
it generates
right?
that,
You know,
it will
worse,
generate the quiz.
right? Just giving you the data on the back
Then
end.
you can drop it into Google Forms. So.
But all in all,
it's like,
monitors
I don't
make
know,
it
do it
very
first
simple.
for you, but that's
More
pretty
about
much it.
what's the
You
level
drop
of
your text in
visibility,
here.
what
It
has
doesn't
our
let you
students
upload
challenge,
the free version.
and then making sure that it's very simple for anyone to get
And
in
then,
and
when you
understand.
generate it,
So,
you populate
here's
the
Discord,
questions on
right?
it.
Just kind of show you, this is
So,
connected. to
question
everything.
well was one of those, like,
I can
I
still
found
see
it
how
somewhere
actually
on
got full.
form limiter
Discord chat,
allows you to limit how many
Snapchat,
people sign up for things, so if you know you only need 5 people for this role, then that would allow it.
Any questions?
Form publisher, I used to use all the time. It's
Any
an app
questions
as well,
on
and it was one that,
Cross
like for
my
staff shout outs after,
I know there's a lot of information. I try to get through at least the main 3 aspects.
so I would send this out to my fellow teachers. I was big on let's pat everybody on the back. I'm just a real proponent of let's boost morale. So they would go do this, and whenever I had that form, publisher on here, what they would do is
So this is
whenever
gonna,
they
this is
sent
gonna look a little
their
noisy,
email
but
address,
something that we did,
I
we're not doing some
generated,
exercise.
or I created.
Something that I shared, this is part of the district.
And then attached it to it, and it.
We basically, I'd break down every single one of your buildings, and I'd say, hey, let us do the first level of it. We'll go it
My
out.
administration was.
Here's where we break down through your daytime, after hour, weekend,
So I
all the way to
created
your
the
emergency
whole template
contact.
and everything, that way nobody can really tell me yes or no.
Then when you're in the system, this is, you're not having to deal with a spreadsheet, that's just for the first upload that.
2 weeks of having it, teachers have like a.
Once you're in
dedicated
here,
board,
everything's,
And they didn't have to wait on
treated
somebody to bring
correctly.
it to
So you
them.
can actually come in, put their notes and times,
Form publishers, definitely.
et cetera. All that's configured by you.
And it took a couple little YouTube videos the first time.
You get a lot of great.
And choice.
You can even
leaders,
break down alerts to say, hey, look, this person's only gonna get it if it's a vulnerable person.
Meetings and you don't.
And they're not gonna see any other risks.
I use
They're that granular.
for some massive, like, district-wide things,
Any other
that,
questions?
like, our students were gonna sign up for session.
Alright,
Publish,
I'll give you 3 minutes back,
Okay.
for the next session,
So the
hopefully,
students
but
got to sign
yeah,
up
appreciate you
for
guys joining,
a
hopefully it was
special day, and they got to
good,
sign
some
up
good
for
takeaways, something to look at,
certain
and we'll,
time slots. And so the students got to choose that through Google Forms.
Hey, girl, man, you know, usually I'm kind of ready.
So that it just went straight to their email, and it also went, to also like their evaluation.
So they had to input that information.
So they got a copy of it as well. So that
It just takes out the middleman, that's a great thing for that. And that's what, I think as teachers, and we just find a way to do it. Like,
That means you got a good team.
we're gonna figure it
Try.
out. There's just not enough of us to go around.
I'll check the department.
Actually,
Right, for the whole district, yeah.
Where are you coming from? Okay.
Reading list, I know what a reading list is. So like, let's just say that, I am researching something on, just because it's fresh in my head, The Outsiders, blah, blah, blah. I know I wanna come back to it later, why was The Outsiders banned? What if I click on something bad, I apologize. If I know I don't have time to come back to do it now, if you hit this little side pane, right click, and I can do, hold on, I can do a right click and add to reading list, and what it does is kind of like favorites, but it's not. It's not giving it to me. So whenever I click this, I have a new one where I don't have to, it would say it's a bookmark and say list. That way you don't have to bookmark it, because I know I had 5,000 bookmarks at one point that I didn't know. So if I were to go to the reading list, I would go to it, put it in my reading list, and then from there, and it builds it out to the side, and then as you do it, you just check it off as a list, so it's not staying in the bookmarks. Because there was one time, I really had so many bookmarks, I was scrolling. And you can just come back to it.
Speaking of,
I have a whole bunch of
it first says that the Eagles when he sees the student, he can get to Instagram, so I go to Instagram.
That's pretty great.
It was on Instagram, I find
So it used to be Screencast-O-Matic. So what it does is anywhere that you are that has a text box that you can put things, it will give you this little icon right there, and you can either record something, do a screen recording, voice recording, all of it together, and it drops it like a comment. So if I'm in a student document and I want to give them feedback, and I'm not, maybe this kid, I don't know,
Kids can get to Instagram,
but they're more adept to do it, right click on the play button on a little video. I could go in there, drop that video, drop that video, and it looks like that. And they would see me and what all I want to show them. So it's just an extension that you would add on to it, and I find that's good for the kids.
I can't get any school cameras.
We just have to make that very. You're good, I love it. I was just gonna check on you. Yeah, we're good. And it gives you see the celebrations, it's fun. So that's something that both teachers and students can get depending on what kind of restrictions they might have with downloading extensions. And it has this little button, and it's just all the cute little things. And it's simple, you don't have to leave the platform to go anywhere. Chrome set opening pages, do y'all do that for y'all teachers or tell them how? So if you know that you wanna have a certain set of pages open all of them, and then you're gonna do your three buttons, and you're gonna go to settings, and then on startup, I'll list those, and then whenever they hit their Chrome button, Chrome button, it's gonna go to it.
Oh no, I put it sort of like, oh no, I put it sort of.
Alright, copy highlight.
This is absolutely the one we're looking at.
Yes, no, we do, I'll show you real quick, so let's say I wanna be able to show my kids. Because again, kids get lost in content, especially if you're reading something that's super long, so maybe you want to do here. So instead of like, I just told them something bad, so if I know that I just want to here, now it brought me to a page, it brought me to a, so if on the site that's long, and you don't want them to go scrolling around looking for it, you would highlight it, and it would say copy link to highlight. And of course, that's not and whenever you link that, it's gonna bring them straight to it. So I'm just gonna show y'all the gist.
I like to hear from the teacher side.
So you see all this is straight to blue, that's what it's gonna do. So if it's midway down the page, it's gonna just boom, go straight down to it, not extracting all the things out. But like most kids. I'm skipping Jamboard because I know our Jamboard going away. Okay, alright. Google Keep, you gotta use Google Keep.
Come on, you'll survive. I'll figure it out.
I was not so long to own it. I think you and Lindsay used it a lot. Yeah.
It's my to-do list.
Yeah, and so like all those notes, the comment bank, I did a lot of those in Google Keep and then was able to copy them over. I do a lot of things that I know I have to come back to and I don't wanna really create a document. I just do a quick Google Keep. And it lives within your wall. So, okay, so what do y'all do? Like, I know, what kind of tools do you share with your teachers? I know you show you things. Is there anything I'm missing?
So with that Google Keep, just to tell you what else.
It is multi-function.
Our shared grocery list is on Google Keep, and so it's the app on my phone, and it's the app on his phone. And we have the location set up in there, so when we go to the grocery store, it literally pops up for us because of the location.
Yeah, I have this important.
And it makes it to where you can see, like, as you're crossing things off, it does like a checkbox. So you can see, you know, as you're buying groceries, 'cause, you know, that's a real life example here.
Yeah, you know what, make it real, for sure. Okay, here's this, if y'all ever want to share it.
I wasn't, but now that
But
you mention
seriously,
it.
there's something that y'all know of, I know that y'all are kind of in the trenches with all the teachers trying to give them things. I'm always up for new ideas. I'm like a Farrah today, I'm really trying.
I was about to say, is the background the same color? Or is it-
Well, I had to cover an old source that was locked in the basement, and I just changed it. I'm doing a Farian.
I was gonna say, we know a Farian.
I'm just complaining, you know.
Gonna learn some things?
They're really good at it. Like, you know, we three people, I just go through, y'all know this, have you seen it? If you already seen it, I'm not gonna take this right.
Hey, that's sometimes the best sessions.
Yeah, I'm not plugging through it.
That's sometimes the best sessions.
Problem solved, right?
Well, we were talking, there's a lot of sessions that are more for like, yeah.
We can go more of the facilitator.
Help the teachers classroom workspaces. Have them use instructional.
Did I go too fast on any of it, just assume you
No.
knew it?
I mean, I'm very familiar with the background, the private sector business, so very familiar with the space for education.
Yeah, so just changing your. There's just some, I am definitely, I always say, just right there. I just think it's such a good teaching environment.
You're not stuck inside the
Right?
van.
I love that we drank it, we like shot it.
I know, we were like,
during COVID, it was like, hey, you gotta learn all this, which we
we do, I mean, it just makes, and kids can use it, like, all this stuff is great for teachers, but kids, like, every student can use that. There's nothing in there that is specific to teachers. And I mean, every time I get one or two or somebody, I feel like I've learned something. And I know that we have, I don't know if I'm doing a platform on that. Yeah, there's, eating space.
What did you hang out with Tuesday?
EDU licensing. So we do a session on that, and there's some really cool practice sets, there's some read-alongs, and actual embedded, features with,
before and all the
some really great
the access to learning.
Did you learn everything I didn't know?
Thank you. You're welcome. I think it's because there's a break. Okay, maybe.
There's like a little
That little guy came back in here again. I think he's excited to do this.
Maybe I know. That's why I'm like, he looked like he wanted to come in here and practice.
So, definitely was in here.
I wanna move out.
Thank you.